We have some space. That's a good picture, though.
No, because you know what it is then if you're sitting there, then we have to fucking be like that. It's an angle thing. It's definitely an angle thing. All right, we going? Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for a very special edition of the Monday Morning Podcast. I don't even know when the fuck I'm going to put this out. Probably before Monday, because my guest, his series is already 3 episodes in, and he was supposed to be on 2 weeks ago, and I completely spaced. A big Hollywood phony that I am, and very fitting that he came back again. And the name of his show is The Return of the Mac, as he's returning to the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe McIntyre.
Thank you.
Dude, sorry, man.
It's okay. Knowing you, I know that you felt bad about it. So it could.
And you made me feel worse because you were a fucking sweetheart about it. I was going like, Joe, can you at least get mad at me? Like, no, dude, it's fine. He goes, I needed to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Who says that?
No, I was hanging. It was all good, dude. It was all good. And thank you. I know that that you don't have a lot of guests, you know what I mean? So it's special. So thank you for making time for me.
The fucking guilt trip, dude. Do you do this to your wife? This is brutal. Now, I know, you're going to be looking at other people and stuff.
It's kind of the Boston thing, too, you know what I mean? Because we're good with the guilt thing, you know what I mean? So we can just let that thing hang over your head forever, you know what I mean? For years and years and years.
But I ended up working out.
I'm not going to do that.
Because I wouldn't have seen your show.
Exactly.
Because I was busy doing a bunch of shit, right? And then I'm sitting there, and I had like a panic attack. I'm like, oh, my God, like I fucking stood this guy up. Yeah. I said I was going to be there. I wasn't there. And I go, now I got to watch your show. I was like, what if I don't like it?
Oh.
How fucking brutal is this, like, half hour, 45 minutes going to be? Fortunately, I watched it, and it's fucking hilarious, man.
Thank you, man.
Really funny.
Thank you. I know I've got a few friends that said that, like, ooh, what am I gonna say if I don't like it? But it is good. It is good. You know, when you make something, you're kind of all in it, and to get some perspective and actually see it on a TV, and it's nice. I feel a lot of. It's a sense of accomplishment. And
what I couldn't find what network is it on because we record the thing.
So it's on Pop TV.
It's not on the Comfy channel.
No, not on the Comfy channel. That's the channel within the show. Yeah, it's on Pop TV, which it's a CBS Lionsgate partnership, but it's the channel's been up for about 2 years.
All right.
It's on most. I think every carrier has it. Sometimes it's on like a higher tier, so it's not basic, which is kind of a bummer sometimes. So, on one sense, there's not a ton of expectation, you know what I mean? And you can build, and hopefully the network's like, well, wait, it's gonna build. It takes a second.
Isn't that crazy, though, how, like, when we were coming up, there was just, you could find shows.
Yeah.
And now it's like, do you know my parents have never seen my show because it's on Netflix and they don't know how to get on it. It's just, I'm like, you got to have a password. You got to like grab the other remote control, do this. It's like they have no idea. That's why when I tape my specials, they come to the special because I know they're not going to be able to find it once it gets on Netflix. So just,
That's the only way they see it. I do tweet you. I mean, I do text you when I see that beautiful mug of you on billboards across Los Angeles, and then you tweet me a picture of me in like Big Bopper in 1988. You know what I mean? Just to get me back.
No, because you always give me shit though.
Yeah. Well, I gotta.
You go, we get it. You got a special.
Exactly.
What the fuck? That's the way you come at me, which is why I was surprised when I didn't show up. That you were still a sweetheart about it. So.
Yeah.
So is it going back? How I originally met Joe was we worked on a movie called The Heat.
Yes.
Believe it or not, that was coming up on 5 years ago already.
We filmed it 5 years ago.
And we had a great time on that. And another one of your cast members, Jenny Denbo, was on that thing.
Yep.
Is now on Return to the Mac.
Yes. We that was sweet. I mean, that gig was sweet. Paul Feig movie, big movie. Yep. We're in our hometown. Me and Nate, I said to Nate Cordry, who's in it as well, recently. I said it's known as 3 weeks in August. Like that. Yeah. That's it. It has its own name, For me, it was just a lot of fun.
In the North End.
Yeah. It was lovely. It was a lovely experience, and obviously.
When did you leave Boston?
Well, I was in New York for a while. I realized after New Kids broke up. I woke up when I was like 21, and I was like, the biggest decision I had to make was where I was having lunch. And I was like, okay, I gotta do something. You know what I mean? Like, and
wait, that whole thing broke up. You took the whole ride and it was done by the time you were 21.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was 15 when we had our first hit record, so that was like 88, and then we had like 4 or 5 years, and then Kurt Cobain came along, and it was all.
And that
over.
was it.
It was all.
But then it was
over.
weird. Then it started back up again.
Yeah.
In the late
well,
90s.
2008. Well,
but you know what? Kurt killed himself, and he wasn't there to stop those boy bands.
Right.
So
no
they came
conspiracy.
right back.
Yeah, exactly. No, we've been back together since 2008, but our fans have grown up. You know what I mean? We look back on that with with an open heart and the nostalgia and all that stuff, and we embrace it. And now we're just like a girls' night out for our fans. They get away from it. But
yeah, you kind of touch on that in the show where I noticed that you have you keep having these really awkward moments where these overly sexed up women, pushing like 50 or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Does that happen to you a lot? Like they want to give you a little too long of a hug? I don't want you to shit on your fans. I'm just saying.
We have all shapes and sizes. There's a few. There's a few that
dude, you sound like you're running for office, man. You're not gonna get in trouble in this thing.
No, well, they're good to me. You can't blame me. We're still playing arenas, so like you say, I got to take care of my fans.
Absolutely.
Say the right thing. But no, some are a little too
aggressive.
Aggressive or touchy feely. You know what I mean? But that's okay for the most part. They're fine.
Part of the job, right?
Yes, but I left. So I spent some time in New York, and then I've been out in L.A. for 15 years, and kind of getting itchy to go back east, dude. It's the best here, but it's funny when I think of my friends who have babies. You got how old's your kid? 4 or 5 months?
3 months.
3 months. Okay,
yep. A little over 3.
And it's hopeful. You know what I mean? It's really funny. Is like not to get all, it's a tough time in the world and it's crazy, whatever. And it's so cliche, but it's like really hopeful when someone has a baby.
Yeah.
Because for you, it's all about that kid, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what's more hopeful than a new kid? You're just like, and it's really nice. My kids are, almost 6, 7, and 9, so it's a little bit of a different vibe. But,
right.
Anyways, I don't know.
Do you feel like what I feel like weird about how once I left, all of a sudden every team starts winning championships, and as so much fun it is to be behind enemy lines, like Celtics beat the Lakers, I was out here, and Red Sox beat the Yankees, I was in New York. But I recently did a show, had an acting gig actually, one day back in Boston, and I remember the Bruins were just starting the playoffs, and was looking out my hotel window, and I just saw a sea of Bruins jerseys, and just to finally be like, oh my God, I could actually wear them, because I don't wear any of my shit out here. It's just people are nuts on the West Coast. They take it to a whole other level.
Yeah, it's violent. It's
violent
out here.
It's not fun. Like when I was in New York, it was fun. It was ball breaking. I've even been in Philly, and as much as they hype those guys up, it's like you got to go out of your way to really get an ass kick. You're definitely going to get shit. You might get something dumped on you, but that's as far as it goes. But out here, it's just like it's like Mad Max.
You're a little scared for your life. Yeah, I mean, I was at the 2010 when the Lakers did beat the Celtics, and I was.
When they called 58 fouls on the Celtics and like 12 on the. That's great. That's great for a Game 7.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch the Lakers beat us from the foul line. That's always good for hoop.
And they barely won. You're right, even without our center. But
I'm not saying we would have won, but I'm just saying. It's like you gotta let them
let them play.
Let them fucking play. It was the most anticlimactic. The one memorable moment from that game that I can only remember was Ron Artest hitting that 3. That was a fucking huge shot.
Yeah.
But anytime,
it was ugly. Other than that, it was an ugly Game 7.
Yeah, there was no magic with the baby sky hook. No. There was always like a moment Bird steals the ball or something like that. I was like, nope, they just.
Kobe didn't have a good game that game either. No.
I remember him saying after the game, he was like, I don't know how we won that game. It's like, well, fucking talk to the Foot Locker guys, because those are the MVPs.
They switched out the Foot Locker guys, and the
but it happens
because
the last Boston-Cleveland game, not Cleveland game. Sorry, who the fuck are we playing?
Bulls.
The Bulls.
Yeah.
The Bulls. last Bulls game. Like I thought the officiating was terrible, and it was in our favor. And I loved when Lopez did the sarcastic clap.
Oh, yeah.
That was when then you saw. Then they went down the court, and then Dwayne Wade got a ticky-tack foul. And he was like laughing, going like, knowing it was like a makeup call, but it was like too late at that point. So
Right. Good series. I mean, we got the luck of the draw there with Rondo getting hurt. So
Rondo's the MVP of the series, I think.
Even still.
Yeah, because
because he's still the most valuable because
because the first 3 games it looked like they were going to sweep us, and all of a sudden he was gone.
I know.
He's coming back.
He was in his out. You think he is?
I think
he's going to make 6 games.
The cast is off.
Okay.
He's got long sleeves on his sport coat again.
He's not tripping anybody. You see him trip. What's his name?
Crowder.
Crowder. Thank you.
I like when he tried to act like he was stretching. He was totally looking right at him. I thought it was funny.
And then he says in the press conference, he's like, yeah, I got ACL, and I just like to stretch it. Next question.
And he was
$25,000.
And then he goes, he was really way out of bounds. He tried to put it on him.
Yeah. Deadpan face.
I thought it was funny.
It was not. I mean, listen,
I don't give a shit about.
He's the kind of guy.
Guy was going to break his fucking leg over that. He just sort of stuck it out.
He's the kind of guy you want on your team, but he's not on our team anymore.
Right.
And then he tried to push, Ray Allen out of the big. Did you see that story where they're having like a reunion, a 10-year reunion for the Celtics, but like a year earlier or something like that? They're all going to the Bahamas or something like that, and they didn't invite Ray Allen because he went to the Miami Heat.
You know something? I never understood that because it was like him going to Miami Heat. That's how we got him. He was a Sonic.
Right. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So if you sign a free agent, it's like I joked in my podcast. That's like falling in love with a stripper.
Yeah.
There's no loyalty at that point. He's just like, fuck it, I'm going to get paid and try to win rings.
And he what was he there? He was there 3-4 years. I mean, it just, to me, it's a personality thing. That's what I love about sports the most. Like, you can talk about the X's and O's and all that stuff, but like the personalities, man. I mean, you look at LeBron. Like, for me, the way it is and how they sit and why they rest and should they, they're getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars and they're sitting.
Yeah.
They're resting. It's like, oh, well, they're tired. Well, the other team's tired too.
Right.
So it's and I just love that. I just think he's like LeBron is. I call him the greatest player ever to not want the ball at the end of the game.
No, that was him before they won it. When he was on the Heat.
He still doesn't want the ball at the end. I'm not saying he's not amazing. He does not want the ball at the end of the game. Kyrie Irving does.
I thought he pushed through that when he was with the Heat.
He won. If he can go,
he won.
He won. I'll give him that.
And if you
do, yeah. But he just, I'm not hating on him. I think he's an amazing, athlete and person and all that stuff. I just think he doesn't. All the greats, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, Kobe, all those, Jordan, of course, they wanted the ball. Right. Everyone get out of my way. That's not him. And it's intriguing to me.
Yeah, I thought he was that until once he won it with the Heat. And all of a sudden, I remember he was playing some game. It was the end of the game, and he actually took the shot and missed. But the fact that he did it, I thought that he pushed through. You got to remember, too, he came into the league at 18. I just think there was all this expectation and that type of thing, and I think it took him a minute to kind of grow into it. But I think he's past it. Didn't he take the last friggin' shot to win it last year?
No.
That wasn't him? No, he ran down, he blocked the ball.
No, exactly. But that's what he'll do.
Well, then what's he supposed to do? Take a full court shot?
No, but he overcompensates in these superhuman ways with that block. But he does not want the ball.
I've never seen a guy so good get so much fucking shit. I don't know what it is.
Well, some people might think I'm hating on him. I'm saying
you just called one of the greatest defensive plays and the biggest moment of the biggest fucking game.
Yes,
as underdogs,
he turns it on.
You said it was overcompensating.
I'm not. Well,
that's hating a little bit.
That's how he makes up for not wanting the ball at the end of the game. I can't listen. If he takes the ball and gets it on the buzzer beater, I'll be thrilled. I'm not hating. I'm not saying he's not capable.
You won't be thrilled if he does against the Celtics. You wouldn't be.
To me, it's fascinating that someone that talented still has room to grow or stuff they haven't done.
All right.
That's not
fair enough.
Okay.
Hey, Joe, fair enough.
Back to my TV show.
Back to your TV show.
I'm kidding.
How much of that is improv?
Not a lot, actually. Not
the
a
writing's
lot. No,
great.
Thank you. Yeah, I co-created it with my friend Paul Greenberg, who I was introduced to by Donnie Wahlberg and Jenny McCarthy, who are
also on the show. Also
hilarious.
hilarious.
Yes. They're executive producers as well. So Paul and I, and then there was Heather Ruttman and Mike Glock are writers. And so it was a small writing team, but, you have 3 days to shoot, so you don't really have a lot for each episode.
Wait, you shoot that in 3 days?
3 days, bro.
How many
so
cameras?
We do 2 episodes at a time, so it's over 6 days we do 2 episodes.
So how long?
We have do we have 3? No, we had 2 cameras.
And how long are your days?
Not super long because that gets into overtime and that's a budget thing too. I learned a lot on this.
No, you're doing it right,
yeah.
Man. So how long does it take you to shoot 6?
6. You mean 6 episodes?
Yeah, how long?
Well, we did 8 episodes.
Oh, you did 8.
So
okay,
it was 3. It was 24 days. It was 24 days, and which is I love it. I mean,
that's
of course,
fucking great.
You want more, it'd be nice to have, more money. You say, oh, it's fine, and I want more, but like maybe if there's a second season, you want a little bit more dough to do this or to do that. But as far as an actor and getting out there, you don't need that much time. You have 4 or 5 takes. I never felt like we didn't have enough time to get the takes. But to your point about ad-libbing or improving, we didn't have a lot of time to just go there. So the scripts were good. Great. I was really happy with them, and and there's a little bit here and there, but for the most part, it was scripted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do a show. I've worked with a few people that knew, like the Always Sunny guys. Those guys, like, you ever seen how they'll shoot their season, like they have it all mapped out, so they'll like do for like the whole season, like all the bar things, and they're just there.
Yeah.
Shoot it all, run out, change, and they just do, like, it's genius how they do it. And then there's other shows that you go on, and it's just like you're doing like 14, 16-hour days, and like you literally want to kill. I've done those shows.
Yeah, paint dry. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't think I ever want another acting gig in my life. This is fucking horrific. And I always called like those types of shoots, like people say, what are those things like? I would say, compared to, it's like going to the DMV with like famous people. So you're just sitting around, the same thing, just sitting there thinking you're never going to get called, and then when you finally do, you're fucking elated, and I don't know. I've heard like stories of like actors like learning how to play instruments, just sitting around waiting
in there. Yeah, and I know it's like you hate to complain about a gig, but it's true. You're in a trailer, and same thing. It's like, this is what I worked for. Like, this is what I want, and it's not a coincidence.
You came there to work. Like, I want to go there and work. Like,
exactly.
For some fucking reason, sitting around, and it's. I actually understood my dog better. It's like, I get why when my dog is just laying there, it goes to sleep, because your body's literally like, all right, well, we're not doing shit.
Yeah.
Let's save up this energy.
Yes.
And you start nodding off like an old man, and the second you start to sleep, you're going to get that knock on your door. Now you fell asleep. You're not going to be fucking in it, and they bring you out. All right, we're going. We got to go quick. We're losing light. We're losing light. It's more like a mentally, look, it's way better than fucking roofing in June and July. Like,
exactly.
I lasted like 3 weeks doing that shit, but I'm just saying, like, you know what it is to me? It's the frustration is when you're there. It's like, it doesn't have to take this fucking long.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. But
if you know what you're doing, it doesn't have to take this fucking long. So,
lighting stuff and everything. And I guess you can see the difference in some, the production value, and that's fine. But I agree. And that's why it's in my nature to go, you know what? I mean, I got lucky. A lot of people trying to make TV shows in this town, and like, I'm super grateful. But like, I was like, I wanted to get active and do it, and we were able to get it done. And
yeah, but when word gets out that people see how funny a show is, and that you guys shoot it that quick, like, I don't think you'll have a problem getting people doing guest stars.
I think so. I'm going to quote you, Bill. There you go. You just set yourself up, and plus you
think I don't know what I just did? There it is. You know what? See, you're a shrewd businessman. You waited.
And
the guilt.
Adam loves you, by the way. Adam Ray, as so many do. But he was on you guys just did a charity gig, and he went on before you, and I think you were like, this guy, you were very complimentary. Like, this guy should have closed. What am I doing following this guy?
Was that was the
I forget what
April Foolishness one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
he fucking murdered.
Yeah, he was it's one of those things where you say, I wrote for that person. Like, when I wrote the first pilot, like, I was just writing for him. You know what I mean? I was just getting off on his whole vibe. He's super charming guy, works a ton, and and we had a blast doing it.
Dude, your guest stars too. I saw that like the third episode, Joey Fatone murdered it.
Yeah, man. He's a funny bastard. So I
and he's really silly. He doesn't like he just
exactly self-deprecating.
Yeah,
and then the Chris Kirkpatrick, who's also from NSYNC, he comes in at the end of episode 3, and he really throws himself under the bus. You know, normally you have a guest star and you got to let them win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he comes up in episode 5 and he really, goes for it. So
you have all these guys on here, and it's great because you let them do what they're going to do. So you get to see how talent, like Joey Lawrence murdered it.
Yeah, no, he was great. Again, he's sort of like America's sweetheart, but I knew a different side of him, a real ball buster, like acerbic, super funny. He's super talented, been around forever. But I knew when we went at it, in doing that thing, it would be, super funny. And he was great. We had a blast doing it, too. So
now, is that true? Did you guys both come in third place?
We did. So the thing is, I want people, a lot of people forget, because I did the first season of Dancing with the Stars. And I didn't want to do it, man. I wanted to be.
All right, take me through that. Okay, you're sitting there. You need a gig. This is like an episode of your show, and your agent calls up, like, Joe.
Totally.
I got a gig.
I got it. Yeah. So it was just after pilot season. I just did 6 months on Broadway in Wicked very early on with Idina Menzel, like, height of like what I love to be doing. But I had it in my mind, like a rookie, I'm going to go out to L.A. and book a pilot.
Right.
Just to book a pilot, just for my ego, not because of the work, not because of the right project. You know what I mean? So I was in it for the wrong reasons.
Were people open to seeing you for stuff?
Yeah, I mean, about a year or so before that, I was on a David Kelly show as a regular on Boston Public. That lasted for about 3 years. I was on it for a year. And it changed my life. I came out to L.A., I met my wife, so things happened.
Did you feel like you had to get one of those gigs to separate you from, this guy, he's in a band.
Yeah,
and
he's
blah,
in
blah,
a
blah.
band, the whole thing, and I just thought it would, change my life or whatever, or I'd be cool, and my ego, it's just, I thought that was it. It was
right.
Christmas, and so I had a bad, pilot season, as, so many of us do.
There.
You know what I mean? Everybody does.
No
like, now I know,
yeah.
now I know everybody, no matter how good you are, you know what I mean? Like, it's a crapshoot. So I get this call for dancing with this British guy. Is like, it's it's unbelievable. It had some other name in the UK, and
right.
It's gonna be great. And don't worry, you'll win, and that whole thing. And
we won't make you look bad.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great for your career.
Exactly. And I was like, I said no a million times, and then I said yes and no and yes and no, and literally I'm up in my bed.
Over how long a period of time is all these no's and yes and no's?
Maybe a week or two.
So you're agonizing over it.
Agonizing, right? Because this is not what I want to do. I don't want to do a reality show. We didn't know what Dancing with the Stars. And it's all relative. Some people, I talk about this and they go, what's wrong with it? It's Dancing with the Stars. It's the biggest show on TV. But to each his own, you know what I mean? That's not what I wanted to do. But anyways, I was up in bed. I was like, after I almost like signed the contract, I was like, I can't do it because I was in, the joke is like I get up in bed and I'm like, I'm in a dance contest with Evander Holyfield. Like, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? And I just couldn't say no. And
who else was on that season?
Rachel Hunter.
Whatever.
John O'Hurley from Jay Peterman. We talk about that in my show in episode 2. And another girl from General Hospital, and I'm blanking.
So it was sort
they
of
were all a mess. I was a dancer.
Uh-huh.
So they had to take me down. It's a produced show. So they're going to cut me out at the knees from day one to get the storylines going. You know what I mean?
So wait, how did they take you out on the show? So all these people can't dance. You can. This is what the fuck you've been doing your whole life.
Joey, that was awful. You look like a scat miss running around the dance floor.
They
6.
said that?
Oh yeah. They murdered me. They murdered me. And I still kicked ass. Yeah.
So now, how did you hold your composure? Like you're standing there. They're filming.
We can go
this
to the
shit.
tape. I mean, right now. But yeah,
Are you sitting there like these motherfuckers? I don't want you to try.
Oh no, I don't care. I mean, at this point, I mean, it's a joke now. I'm, and that's why I was able to use it in the show. Like the guy,
look like a scud miss.
Yeah. Literally, is what he said. And so, I'm attached from it now, and I'm able to use that stuff for my show. Like the guy I play on my show now, Return of the Mac, is that guy, you know what I mean, who couldn't say no, who didn't have the patience or the integrity or the discipline to ride it out for the right part. Now,
that's why I like watching your show, because I see this other side, like your home life and stuff. And
yeah.
Even you getting like the person to help with your kids.
Yeah. Fun. Yeah.
And that's shit that I do. Honey, whoever you want, that's fine. That's fine. Fortunately, that's worked out in my life. But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, exactly. Until you get some crazy guy, and then you weigh in definitely until your wife gets it wrong.
Yeah,
whatever you need. Yeah. Until what the hell were you thinking? But
I'm sorry, I interrupted a great story. So
no.
So you're sitting there. They're saying you're like a Scud missile all over the place.
I just didn't want to do the show, but it was 6 episodes. People still go, why don't you do Dancing with the Stars? And I think to myself, should I tell them I did it? Whatever, because my ego says I like when people forget that I did that show because it's not really what I wanted to do.
Right.
On the other side, it's like, hey, it's all showbiz.
Right.
And life things happen and you learn from them.
How many weeks did you do?
Well, it was only 6 weeks back then because it was a summer program. They were giving it a shot. By 6 weeks, the finale, there was like 15 million people watching it. So
15 million people saw you come in third.
Yeah, exactly.
And did you lose to Evander Holyfield?
No, I beat Evander Holyfield.
There you go.
Yeah, it was.
Not a lot of people can say that. That's a tough man.
But exactly. But John O'Hurley loved it. Guy's in his 60s. He's doing the waltz. He's eating it up. They're loving it. He's eating the scenery. You know what I mean? Like, God bless him. This was the best thing in his life.
I've seen a spark in your eyes I haven't seen in years.
Exactly. It was brilliant and good for him. You know what I mean? He had a blast. And I learned a lot, too. I mean, I learned, how to do that kind of dancing, and you learn from the dancers. And dancers in this business, especially on Broadway, are the hardest working people in show business because they got to dance. Most of them have to sing on Broadway. They dance and sing. Their egos are like totally in check. They come to work every day. They don't complain. And it's the stars and the leads that, do all the complaining when they really have it so much better than everybody else. So,
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was the fallout of that? So after that, you come in. How did you take were you relieved when you got kicked off the show at that point? We just
it was kind of. I think I got episode 5. I was gone, and then they had me back for the finale. Everybody was there for the finale. I felt like I went out. I was good with my performances, but again, they took me down because they needed a storyline. I mean, that's kind of that's my story, anyways. But it was cool. I mean, I actually did a standards album after that, and we went on tour. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I got a little something out of it. You know what I mean? We went on like an arena tour, and funny enough, that actually. That's how I met the New Kids manager at the time. We were managing, and I talked to Donnie. Donnie and I were talking about getting together, and I said, well, this might be the manager because I've been working with this guy. So it's that kind of thing. You do things that you think aren't right, but you're there, you make the most of it, and it could lead to bigger and better
that led
things.
to you guys getting back together?
Well, a small piece. A lot of things have to happen. You know what I mean?
How nervous were you when putting that thing back together, like going, fuck, are 40 people going to show up?
Yeah.
Or?
Well, the cool thing was that we were in it together. I mean, if these other 4 guys were willing to get in the foxhole and see what happens, because we have so much history together and we're like family, you know what I mean? So that was the cool part, you know what I mean? And I trusted those guys. I mean, Donnie, I felt like he always held what we had very dear to him. And like when MTV or VH1 would go, come on our come on our awards show. They wanted their big ratings hit. They wanted their 5 minutes, and we always like, hey man, we're bigger than 5 minutes. You know what I mean? And sure enough, the timing was right, and we did it the right way, and our fans showed up for us, and we back in arenas after
Yeah, you guys did like
25
Fenway
years.
Park too, right?
Yeah, we're doing Fenway Park July 8th again, man.
Are you doing it again?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah. It's so cool, man.
That's great.
So cool.
That's great. So you got 5 more episodes coming out.
Yep.
So you're going to get back to Boston. What's your deal, man? Are you going to like stay out here? You got the show now, right?
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll see. We'll see about the second season. You know how that goes. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm just distracting myself by saying I want to like get back to New York or Boston. It's so nice out here. You actually have like a yard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In New York, it's just a totally different thing. My wife's from New York, but it's high class problems, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I'm just need something to chew on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or if I'm like, dude, relax. You know what I mean? Just, you're here. Be where you are. You know, that kind of crap.
Rather than getting all fucking antsy.
Yeah,
That's definitely that's definitely an issue I have. Like, my wife freaks out about that. Just going like, can you just sit down and watch TV with me? And then if I watch TV, it becomes interactive, and I'm like talking to it, and then she's just like, you're ruining all of my shows.
And you have to, oh, yeah. I mean, that's, she's like, shut up or leave the room. Because I can get very, like Parenthood. She loved Parenthood. Mm-hmm. And I get it. It was a very successful show, but like, I would tear it apart. You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean. That's all I do. She goes, my wife, she's actually going to come on the podcast because she kind of went rogue on me. You know, there's a rule with like recording shows.
Yeah.
Where there's the hey, I taped the game, you don't give a shit. Hey, you got the Real Housewives, or who gives a fuck? I don't care. Yeah. But the good shows, the Fargos, the Better Call Sauls, we got your show in there. It's like, these are the shows we're watching. This is like with the kid. This is like our shared family time.
Right.
Dude, she watched the Better Call Saul, fucking erased the thing. Yeah, and then tries to go, you can go on to wherever.
Wow.
Yeah. And
wow.
Yes.
We
will be discussing
that's
that.
That's not. And you're bringing her in for that one.
Yeah, and I was just sitting there going like, wait a minute. Yeah, like, what's going on? Is there somebody else you're seeing here? I thought this was like a together thing.
That's how it starts.
Yeah.
Start erasing shows.
Your first hint that there's a problem with your marriage is the shows you used to watch together. All of a sudden, it's just like, did you just stop taping that? Did you?
Wow.
No, it was the Fargo one. She watched like the first episode or the second episode, and she just erased it.
Was it a mistake? Was it because it was like the lowest priority thing?
No.
It was
because she has gone rogue.
Wow.
She is in TV.
Wow.
Yeah, and I love that you're having that reaction because this is priming the pump for the next episode.
Yeah,
I think we might call the next episode.
I'm with you.
Wow. My wife. Wow. That's what I was looking at. It's like, so that's how it is.
Yeah.
That's how it is. I guess I'm on my own now.
Is it the baby thing? Is it the like she's kind of,
She kind of said it was that. She was just like, look, you go out on the road, you're doing your gigs.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm home here, I'm fried.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to look at some adults. I can only go goo goo gaga so long. And I am so sleep deprived when you're not here.
Oh,
that,
my God.
I just, delete, yes.
Yeah.
Robot mode. And, did I do that?
Right.
Fucking whatever.
Right.
Go on Netflix and find it. You're out there getting 8 hours sleep. That's how she looks at it. So, anyways, let's get the schedule here. Okay. Where can people watch?
Well,
to get
right
caught
now
up?
I wish we were on some other what do you call the Netflix and the Hulu,
the CISOs and the
whatever you say that,
the Amazon.
Not yet. Right now, because it's its own channel, so we want to get people to go to Pop, but it's
cool.
It's Pop TV. You can go to poptv.com and throw in your zip code if you want to find out what your channel is. But it's basic for a lot of them. Sometimes it's a higher tier. So unfortunately, you might have to dig a little bit. But it's on Pop TV. A lot of people have it. It's on all the carriers.
What night? What nights?
Wednesdays at 8:30 on Pop TV, and for another 5 episodes. And
so to get people caught up.
Yeah.
He's trying to make a move. They pitch him a talk show.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it.
Yes.
People get in your head.
Yeah.
Now you're doing it.
I have to do it.
And people
Can't
are
say
making
no.
major decisions without your consent. That seems to be a running theme. Hey, I'm glad I was in on that.
Pulling the rug out from under me at every moment.
Yep.
Yes.
We got your sidekick, and now we're all caught up. And now they've decided that it's not going to be a comedy.
No.
Then now they're going to go more serious.
Because I'm not funny, she tells me.
I love
we get the idea, the reason why we got it now. We figured it out.
Stand up.
You're not funny. You like the stand up?
But being like going on stage and like deliberately bombing is hard.
Yeah.
If you've been like, because you just automatically have the savor, like, well, that didn't work. Let's at least get a chuckle.
I did that thing about pixie sticks. I don't know, for some reason it was just that thing, like, that line. People have an idea of what stand-up is and like go-tos, and for some reason mine was, remember pixie sticks?
Yeah, what's up with that?
It's just stupid, and you think it's going to be funny and it's not. So
I just love how it never had a payoff. I mean, does anybody need that much sugar?
Yeah,
it was just one setup after another, and you just kept fucking going with it. I was just like, oh my God, literally been that guy.
Oh,
but
man.
that is people's ideas. Everybody
Yeah.
has they got the ideas of the boy band, thinking, oh, it's this, that, and the other thing.
Exactly.
Then when they see the actual work of it, so
Right.
Joey,
Thank you,
so
buddy.
great to have you,
Yeah,
man.
thank
I
you
really
so
hope we
much.
get to work again. It was great to get to know you on the Heat once again. I apologize for.
I'm going to use it for all it's worth, Bill.
But it worked
Yeah.
out. This
Yeah.
episode was
Perfect.
the return of the Mac. Thank you for coming in and continued success with
Thanks,
your great
buddy.
show.
You too.
All right.